May I request Sri Janardhana Menon sir for his paper presentation? Sir, you are requested to give a self-introduction.
Good evening, ladies and gents. My name is Janardhana, but name is not very much important. I belong to Santhigiri Ashramam, reside a spiritual institution, and I'm there for the past 42 years. My daughter, my family, everyone is there. My daughter is a sannyasini. And the thing which I've been asked to come for, the work I am doing for the past 42 years is the very thing which I am supposed to explain for the sake of all. So much of the things which I do may not cater to the scientific or other academic mind, but to a mostly a spiritual thing. Everyone has been talking about, every one of us has been talking about the peace and violence. Peace and violence are, in other words, one and the same. Without peace there cannot be violence. Without violence there cannot be peace. Our Janardhana Sahib was told, he has explained as to how we cannot live, in fact, without violence. Spirituality is the one which brings about peace in violence. Violence, if it is madness, there is a methodology in madness. That spirituality brings about. That methodology, if you think, say, after all, I spent about 18 years of my service in armed forces in the Air Force. If everyone in the Air Force or in the Army feels that the peace is the right thing, it is like a film came for Thiruvananthapuram, I think it was. He became a Gandhian. As an army person, he came out of the army, became a deserter. In the 62 operation, he felt Gandhiism will not help alone. We'll have to fight the war, and then he comes back. That is the case. Everywhere this is a problem and a solution. This is a seesaw battle. The seesaw battle will have to find how to live in peace among the war. We have been just telling, war front is not full of cactus. It has got roses too. We'll try to think about it. And another thing is that we were trying to say the best thing is the United Nations approach. It talks about getting the fact and truth wherever it is coming from, as it is said in Rig Veda. So I talk with that many Tamilian friends are there. Everyone knows about Avayar, is it not? Hello, Tamilians? Avayar, you know. Avayar is a person who said, Katchadu kaimannalavu, kalladadu ulagalavu. She says, what I have learnt is only a handful, and what I am yet to learn is worldwide. The whole world is yet to be learnt. But the crux of the matter is in the third line that UNESCO has omitted. The other things that UNESCO, these two lines it has appropriated. It's a go for the first line. Yeah. So next. This is what that is what I was talking about. The third line is that it says என்று உற்ற கலைமடந்தை ஓதுகிறாள். That the UNESCO has left it. That is the crux of the matter. That is, so says not you and I or the PhD people. That so says Saraswati. The Saraswati says so because it is Aparavidya she is heading. We are talking about Paravidya, which only can set right the problems, including the problems we were talking about, peace and how to bring about peace and how to avoid violence, etc. That can be got done only by Paravidya. I am not belittling Aparavidya. Aparavidya is there. It has got its own uses, but it's not full and whole. So, who says the right and wrong deeds? Next. When you do the right thing, you are born next time with goodies. When you do the wrong things, you are having excruciating pain in your life. This is what everyone knows. And so says the, what is that? Isovasya and Srinarayana Guru in Devachindanam. They say it is the case. That is, and our Tamil again it says, Thidum nandrum pirartharavara, nodalum tanidalum avattorana. That is, again, they're saying, how can the body, from the body, the soul, how can it merge and submerge into the Brahman or the Supreme? That is not the one which is not to be born again, but get moksha. Says, Shiva says in Guru Gita that Dehi Brahma Bhavayet Tasmat Sattat Krupartham Vidavidat Sarva Pava Vishuddhatma Sri Guru Pada Sevanat. Unless you go to a Sri Guru, a person who has transcended this right and wrong, the good and bad, all these things he is transcended, unless you go and serve at his feet, birth and death are inevitable. So that is a case said. And Aparavidya we have gone about, and then Paravidya says how to extricate the truth. The truth can be extricated from this thing that Anumanam, there are 4 ways, Anumanam, Agamam, Viparyad, etc., and Pratyaksham. That is, every soul, every great soul we talk about, they said they got the instructions for the people from the Almighty. They did not get it from the test tube. They did not get it from the lab. They got it from the Almighty. But there is a danger. What happens? This, through Pratyaksham, the right one, the deities are subtle forces. We may not permit you to go and arrive at truth and will foist in falsehood in you. I am not telling that. Sri Aurobindo says. Sri Aurobindo says that they will not allow you to go to the supramental force. And Swami Vivekananda says very clearly in Raja Yoga, when he has explained, he says, these subtle forces, these kudurus or the other forces are more jealous of the human being than the fellow human beings are. And they never allow you to arrive at the truth. They hamper your travel towards truth. Next week. So, this truth has to be understood. If you say that you have to go to the wise man, a guru, you will have to know what that guru is. Many people masquerade as guru, and you have to find out. If you go to a wrong person, you have only yourself to blame. So, how these people, the Parama Guru, whom you have to approach, that is said, previous one. That one, he says, there are There are Bodhaka Guru, Vajaga Guru, etc., and lot of gurus. But only Parama Guru is a person who has to be obeyed. And there are Nishipta Gurus who are not to be obeyed, and if at all you obey, you go follow them, you do not get rebirth up to Kalpa. Complete, this saying 14 Manvantras constitute one Kalpa, and that is it. So, are you sure that such things, such a great person, Janardhana comes here, babbles here, talks a lot of things, whoever has said that? Whoever has ever told, what is the authority? You can say everything, every religion talks about it. Regarding Paramaguru, who says the future Buddha, Buddhism says the future Buddha will show the society the sacred truth. He would bring about a sacred and fully accomplished society. This is in the Gospel of Buddha. Christians, I know, I need not to talk more about it. Maranatha, they all talk about it. Fear not, God will send you another messenger. He will teach you the very truth and to show you the things to come, says John 4:14.25. I will send another messenger. He will ratify all you said. You and your followers will obey him. When that is God Almighty speaking to all the prophets. I am not telling, Quran says. Quran Al-Imran 3.884. It says, you and your followers will obey him, will you not? And all the prophets, Isa Nabi, Musa Nabi, Muhammad Nabi, everyone says, yes, we will obey him. In that case, God says, in that case, I am your messenger, I am your witness, and you are all witness to me. Then again comes Bhagavad Gita, everyone knows, when Dharma is in peril, I will reincarnate, says. I have seen supramental force for landing on the earth, supported by, escorted by Sri Krishna, who was a super mind. Says Aravindo from Pratyaksham. This Pratyaksham we have talked about is that. So these things are the ones we said about. And now, we will go to the problems we have encountered. Everyone has got a problem. The problem is our limited knowledge. Limited knowledge, how it was brought about. When in the womb of this thing itself, not me, a London University Professor Grasscourt said that. And his team have found out the brain has a membrane around the brain. And that membrane registers if there is anything wrong, anything harsh said to the mother when she is at the 7th month of conception. And that is transferred to the child, and the child keeps it. And it is hidden as an aberration. This aberration stays put and comes out in other, what do you call, at the times where there is no control. He calls it Abhimanyu effect, a man from UK. So this blockage of creative spirit leads to latent aberration, uncontrolled eruption at ambience, lifestyle changes it brings about, disarray of this leads to disarray of family ties, and emotional bond is reduced. Alternative attachment, you say a person falls in love, this, that, etc. This alternative arrangement cost because the other things are lost. Ladies, particularly mothers, they have to be careful. How to bring about your children. Then this failure and despair and despondence takes him to escapism, drugs, etc. Then social values he loses. Prominence to the sensory organs he gives. And then this he becomes selfish and creative mind that conception is lost. Then again, the vicious cycle repeats. So this is it. So this is this kind of a thing which is Running out of time, I know, because this kind of thing keeps repeating, and this is in our hand, particularly when it is there. But in these things, these are regarding to this thing, I will not go about. It is in Srimad Bhagavatam that how many, there are 43 lakhs 20,000 years are there in one Chaturyuga, 71 Chaturyugas make one Manvantara, and 14 Manvantaras make one Kalpa. Kalpa is the end of the world. Now we are in the 7th Manvantara and 28th Chaturyuga. That is true for that is a mind-boggling cosmology, which is mind-boggling calendar of Hindus. Please remember that. And with regard to that, our discriminatory works regarding karma, etc., is well known to the people. I am not going to repeat and do it. And how the aberrations, other kind of aberrations come because of our work, vasana, how it is got and all that. They are well depicted in Bhagavad Gita itself. And the vasana causes all three gunas. Three gunas are the ones are the Trimurtis containing. We know what Shiva has, which guna, what Vishnu has, what Brahma has. So these three gunas has to be transcended. You have to go to a person who is becoming nirguna. Nirgunaya gunatmani. And that is a person, unless you start with him, unless you get yourself cleansed, these things will repeat. People said that you think it over, you try, you will become not at all. You cannot become because the vasana, the base is there. You may say according to your conscience. Your conscience, my friend, is a delusionary thing. Conscience is a slave of your vasana. Gandhi, Subhash Chandra Bose and Godse, three had consciousness. Their consciousness was different. So don't think about it. Unless you get a person to correct it, this cannot be overcome. When it is wrong, when your yardstick is wrong, you say the measurement is wrong, there's no use. So unless you do things, correct things spiritually, other things is not possible. Thank you very much.
Friends, it is too late for tea, and tea is already ready. Please have the tea, and we have 3 more papers in this session. So have tea and come quickly. Thank you.